We shall always be with the Lord. Resurrection certainly is a real test of faith for every believer. Paul was confronted by believers awaiting the second coming and also faced the deaths of some of the members of his communities. Paul offers that those who have fallen asleep will survive death because Jesus defeated death. Jesus is the source of all hope. Paul addressed the issue directly in the first letter to the Corinthians when he said, "If Christ has not been raised, then our preaching is in vain, and your faith is in vain. For if the dead are not raised, not even Christ has been raised. And if Christ has not been raised, your faith is futile, and you are still in your sins." Today's gospel gives us great insight into who Jesus is. The Spirit of the Lord is upon him when he began his preaching ministry, proclaiming the good news. And he applies one of the texts from the prophet Isaiah to himself in the synagogue where he grew up. It's a bold assertion. His subsequent rejection by his friends and neighbors set the pattern of preparing himself for a difficult time, for his suffering and his death. The world seemingly was not ready for the good news, but Jesus had his mission. He had to complete what he set out to do, to complete what his Father gave him as his mission. He is God's beloved, and everything he says will come true. The resurrection, then, is God's response to the total obedience of Christ. The early church realized this, seeing the law and the prophets come together to reveal God's plan for the whole transformation of the world. Jesus is the firstborn of the dead, the assurance that if we live as he did, we will rise with him. To believe this is to know that all our beloved dead are among the living with the Lord, and encourages all of us to believe in God, who is faithful.